Everyone, my name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus House system. In today's video, I had a request from a viewer to do a chart for Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Savannah Guthrie. So this is basically an attempt to rectify their charts because there's very little information about Nancy. And I did find articles about Savannah, but needless to say, I don't know either one of them. I I'll show you all the sources that I had to go through to get the information, to get to the chart where, I'm going to show you what I came up with because I rectified Savannah's chart and I also rectified Nancy. Now, are these two rectifications going to be accurate? I can't say 100% because when you rectify a chart, you ask the person questions, right? Or like when I did the rectification for Martin Luther King, oh, there's a lot of information on Wikipedia about the guy, right? So, I should say about the pastor. Anyway, there's, historical information that you can, fact check, right? Or when I did the rectification for Elon Musk, you know, things that are lives that are very, very public are easy to rectify or easier to rectify. So anyway, let me, and I should tell you, which is which is difficult to say, but I don't think Nancy's alive. She has um, a couple of transits there that are insurmountable. It's just I don't think, I mean, I hope that they do find her alive because hope is the last thing you lose, but I don't think that she is in the land of the living anymore. And needless to say, my condolences to the Guthrie family. Um, may God help you through this difficult time. But maybe I can offer some ideas as to who this person may be. Okay. All right. So let me share with you. Um, Here we go. So these are all the sources that I use. usmagazine.com. This is what the article, this is Savannah's first husband. And then, how they met. The marriage only lasted 4 years. And so this is the timeline, um, and so on and so forth. So then I looked up Savannah's second husband and I found out some information for him. And then, of course, Samantha herself, right? The early life, the journalism as a career, and also she's a lawyer, which I didn't know. And again, I don't follow any movie star. I don't follow any celebrity. I don't follow any singer. I don't have time for that. So this is the other one. This was her father, Charles Guthrie, who died from a heart attack at the age of 49 when she was 16. So I went through all of the, you know, all of the information on the father. Um, then this one, Michael Feldman. And then of course Nancy. And like I said, there's very little information about her. But based on that, I made some notes, right? Of there. So because I don't know how to share two screens when I'm on Zoom. So you guys are just gonna have to bear with me. Let me pull up the chart that I think. Let me start with Savannah's first. Now, Savannah, I think That she is a Pisces rising at 9 degrees. She's a Capricorn sun at 4 degrees. And I will, let me find my notes. Let me see. Well, I didn't make any notes from her. No way. Oh, Savannah here. Ascendant at 9 degrees. She's a journalist. And she could also be a lawyer with the 9 degrees. Um, Pisces rules movies, photography, film, um, faith, spirituality. She also has very pretty eyes, and usually Pisces rising people have really pretty eyes. So I think that she's a Pisces rising, but um, the thing that okay, so there are she has, according to the rectification chart that I did, well, she has Mars in Aries in the first house. So she's a go-getter. She's not, let me move this to, okay, there you go. She's out of there. Now the moon in Taurus, that makes her really, really emotional, and it's at 0 degrees according to the rectification. So she's very emotional. Um, and fourth house is in Gemini. She would live in two places, right? Because she was born in Melbourne, Australia, but she lives in the United States. The ruler of the fourth house is Mercury, and Mercury is in Sagittarius. So she's, besides being a writer for, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but anyway, the ruler of the fourth house is Mercury, and Mercury is in Sagittarius. Um, the first husband she met at work, Virgo. First husband is seventh house, second husband is ninth house. First husband, Virgo. They met at work. He's a foreigner, 9 degrees, because he's a British guy. Um, and then Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, is in the 10th house. They met at work. They met through her profession, because she was covering the same story he was from two different, let me see, you guys are not going to be able to see it, but I just switched over to like where they met. Um, that first picture, let me see. They met. Oh, they were both covering Michael Jackson's sexual abuse trial. Guthrie on assignment as court TV correspondent and Orchard for BBC. So that's how they met. All right, so Savannah has a daughter as the first child, so Cancer. First child is fifth house, second child, seventh house, third child, ninth house, fourth kid, 11th house. But she only has two. So the fifth house is in Cancer. And of course, her sun in Capricorn in the 10th house, she has a high position uh, in a foreign country. Um, but anyway, so, and she works for a corporate place, right? Because these channels, these news stations are huge corporations. Jupiter is in the 10th. She works in a foreign country, the degree of Sagittarius in Sagittarius. Okay, so assuming that this chart rectification is somewhat correct, there's something called in astrology the derivative house system. And so you know how we have the first house, second house, third house, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, if you take the moon, which is the significator of the mother, you count 8 houses, and it would tell you the way she was going to die. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Scorpio. At the fourth degree, she would die at home. Okay. So now, Scorpio, well, let me get into, anyhow, this is what I think Savannah's chart looks like. Like I said, it may not be exact, but you know, things fit into place, right? Now, Nancy, if her mother, the moon, the eighth house is Scorpio, in the fourth degree at home, Scorpio, Pluto rules abductions, especially when they are for money. Because I was between Neptune, which makes things disappear, or Pluto. But Pluto involves money, and they were asking, they had a ransom note, right? Okay, so now let me go to Nancy's chart. No, 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 no. Hold on. I have to pull up her chart first. Wait, just bear with me. Here we go. Let me get Nancy's up. All right, here we go. Now, I'll tell you this much. This rectification has put me through my paces because, you know, it's really challenging to do this. Now, Nancy, there's, like I said, very little information about Nancy, but I was able to get through all those sources that I showed you. Nancy has three kids. Well, first, I think she is an Aries rising, number one, because she has part of her rising sign is also Taurus, because people that have Taurus in the first house usually have like a thick neck. So, and she does, at least from the pictures that I saw, she has a pretty wide neck. Now, Nancy has three kids. First child is Cameron, her son, Leo. It would be a boy at 1 degree because he is an F-16 pilot in the National Guard, or he was, like I think he's too old to be in the armed forces, but anyway, he was or is a pilot. Second child, Annie. Annie is a writer, a jeweler, and a creative writing instructor. So Libra is everything that's design, that's beauty, that's creativity. Okay. And then third child, ninth house, Sagittarius. The third child would be born in a foreign country, perhaps because of Sagittarius, or she would be a journalist. Okay, so at least for the kids, this, this works. So, um, now I found information on Savannah's father, the way that she described her father. And according to her, the traits were he was strong, sometimes terrifying, loyal to the end, disarmingly gentle and tender, unbending notion of right and wrong, tempered with kindness. He was tall, affectionate, and funny, lit up the room, charismatic, joyous, warm, kind, and forbearing, deep and complicated, a man of deep faith and conviction, larger than life, charming, and adored. That can sound a lot like Libra. I think it's 15 degrees because the man is an engineer or was an engineer because he passed at the age of 49. So he was an engineer. Engineering signs are usually Gemini, Virgo, and Aquarius. All right. Um, Now, what else? Eighth house describes the way a person is going to die. Ruled by Scorpio. She was abducted. Um, 22 degrees to kill or be killed. So obviously, when you are attacked, you can defend yourself or, try to kill the other person. But she's an older lady. I think she's 82 or 84, something like that. Um, oh, wait. I forgot something. All right, so Nancy has heart problems. Neptune at the 29th degree, because she has a pacemaker. 29th degree is a degree of Leo. Leo rules the heart. So she has a diseased heart. Not only that, she also has Aries in the first house in Taurus at 8 degrees, which is the degree of Scorpio. When you have Aries in the first house, your health is anything that is any disease that's bloodborne. The circulation, blood clots, or you can't clot blood, a high blood pressure, diabetes, um, things of that nature. So obviously she's going to have circulation problems because her heart is not well. Let's put it that way, because she has a pacemaker. Now, according to the report that I read, there were blood stains that they found in the house, Mars. Okay, for Scorpio, the modern ruler is Pluto, but the ancient ruler is Mars. So, Pluto, if the way she was going to die was to be that she got abducted, Pluto is at 4 degrees in Leo. Again, the house, the home. So Pluto in the home. eh, Now, she has nice family life because Cancer is the fourth house cusp and it is at the 8th degree. Let me move this out. It's at the 8th degree, so degree of Scorpio. So she lives in a place where there's a desert, right? Or close to a cemetery. Things that are ruled by a Scorpio, or maybe the house has a basement or a cellar, like things that are underground, right? So Cancer at 8 degrees. And let me see what else. Now, she was born in 1942. So yeah, I think that she's 82. It said that she was mentally sharp and independent, Aries rising. Health is a chronic condition, pacemaker, and limited mobility. This Mars and Taurus, yeah, the energy is not there. But anyway, the I didn't go into because like it says that at 1:47 a.m. the doorbell camera was disconnected. That would be the birth chart of the event, in my opinion, because we don't know what time the guy got there, right, to do whatever he was going to do. Now, oh, and another thing, okay, first and only husband, right? If you make, again, using the derivative house system, if this is the first house of the husband, one, two, three, four, five, 3 kids, right? They have 3 children. Because to me, children come up either in the fifth house or the 11th house. Because with the first husband, she had 3 children, a boy, a girl, and then a younger one. All right, because Mercury can go either way, boy or girl. If she had had a second husband, then it would be one, two, three, four, five. She would only have a boy and a girl. But that was not her case. She was only married once and she has the 3 kids. So I think that this chart is pretty accurate. But again, it's not foolproof because I don't know what she did for a living. She just could have been a mom, right? A mom who ran the household. Uh, because remember that this is the parental axis, the 10th and the fourth house. So let me see what else. And then, okay, so we have, The fourth house in Cancer, 8 degrees here. So it could mean, besides living in a desert or whatever, that you would die at home, right? Eh, okay. All right. So to me, this is her chart. So how to describe the person who committed the crime? Scorpio. The ruler is Pluto. The ancient ruler is Mars. But Pluto would be somebody, well, it's in Leo. So the guy is going to be good looking. He could be a high school coach because it's in the fifth house. He could be a high school teacher. Um, he could be of French descent. I'm not saying that the guy is French because fourth degree would indicate that the guy is American, but he could be of French descent. Now, if we look at the ancient ruler or the traditional ruler of Scorpio, he could be ex-military. Um, but this is, this is a stretch. For the degree theory, we only use the modern rulers. Now, where did Nancy meet this man? Or where did he, pick her, like, I don't know, just where did the two meet? Because I think that she might know who the person is. Um, so Leo is a birthday party. A fifth house can be at a restaurant. It can be at a vacation place. It can be when at a place where she, like a hobby, if she does any hobby, if she wherever she goes to have fun, basically. That's where this person, she could have met this person. Um, 22 degrees would make it the Capricorn degree, so he would be on the thin side. He would not be heavy. Eh, I don't know about Scorpio. Scorpio, I think, is like average height for a man, you know. The other thing is that Nancy has Pisces at the cusp of the 12th house, so this would make her a very religious person. So, so yeah. And let me see if I can do this. Hold on. Let me stop share. So let me see if I can pull up the bi-wheel chart. Okay. So the inner part is let me move this up. Can I move this up? Well, all right. The inner wheel is Nancy's chart, which the information is here. And then let me bring myself down here. And then this is the day that she was abducted, February 1st. Okay. And we're only looking at the transits, right? So, number one, she was born with the sun in opposition to Pluto. So that is a very difficult aspect to have in a natal birth chart. But Pluto, the transiting Pluto, was on her sun and in opposition to her natal Pluto. So when you have that, okay, let me just clarify something. Just because you have Pluto coming in on your sun or on the chart on the ruler of your ascendant and stuff like that doesn't mean that you're gonna die. Let's clear that one up. But in her case, if Scorpio is the ruler of her eighth house, right? The way she's going to die, then that changes things. So what happened? Mars is the trigger point. Mars is in exact conjunction, basically, to her sun, and it's conjunct Pluto. So by force, the person would have a weapon. Mars rules weapons, guns, knives, blades, axes, anything that cuts or is able to kill, basically. So I think that's why I'm saying I don't think that she is alive anymore. I don't think that this ended well. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope to God that they find this lady and everything is okay. If I were the police, I would look obviously around her house, but also around rivers. And I know that I imagine, I don't know, but I imagine that Tucson is a place filled with desert, right? Because it's Arizona. But I wonder if there's a river close by. Scorpio rules rivers. I wonder if that's where or he could have also just dug her grave. Scorpio, cemetery. So she could be found in a shallow grave or by the river. Um, so anyway, I hope that the viewer that asked me to do this video, and as well as you guys, you can learn a bit about astrology. Now, again, this one was tough, okay, because there's not a lot of information about her, like what she did for a living, or it's whatever you find, which is very brief. It all talks about the disappearance of, her disappearance. So anyway, like I said, my condolences to the Guthrie family. May God be with you in this time, this very difficult time. I do hope that your mom is alive and that you find her. And I hope I'm totally wrong, right? That this lady can reunite with her family, and I wish them all the best. So anyway, if you have found this to be a good astrology lesson, then please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and send it to somebody else who might be interested in learning astrology. As always, thank you for watching. And if you would like a natal chart reading with me, please send an email to amaastrology@aol.com. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.